Russian President Vladimir Putin is weighing in on tensions with North Korea, warning that rhetoric between Washington and Pyongyang has brought the U.S. and North Korea to the brink of a full-scale war. Putin saying in an op-ed in a Russian newspaper, quote, provocations, pressure, and bellicose and offensive rhetoric is the road to nowhere. Joining me now, Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Ed.
Given the fact, though, that Vladimir Putin has been known for bellicose rhetoric, and think about his actions in Ukraine and elsewhere, his meddling in our election, should we take his word seriously on this?
Well, you can take his word seriously in that, yes, this is an escalating situation, but Vladimir Putin in this op-ed is almost implying that it's America's fault or Donald Trump's fault. There's only one person that's at fault here in one country, and that's North Korea. They're the nation that, despite agreements with the United States and with the free world in the past, have said they're not going to develop nuclear weapons, yet they continue to develop nuclear weapons. They're the nation that shot missiles over our ally in Japan. So if you look at where is this escalating, it's with them. There's a reason, though, that Vladimir Putin is writing this and that he's trying to make it look as if he's reasonable. They have, China, Russia, North Korea, have always wanted us to stop our joint military exercises with South Korea. This isn't something that's new. So they're trying to put that out there as a reasonable solution to say, if you guys just simply quit your joint military exercises, North Korea will stop developing missiles. But in the past, it's never happened. You
make an interesting point, Congressman, because these words from Putin come just after we used, for the first time ever, as I understand, the F-35B jets. In a show of force, the U.S. military, along with the Japanese and the South Koreans, flying over the Korean peninsula and sending a message to North Korea. So what you're laying out is Russia being thick as thieves, it sounds like, with China, North Korea, and wanting to push back on our military being ready.
I think so. I think there's an opportunity potentially in the future for the U.S. and Russia to kind of work together with the Chinese on this North Korean issue. That moment's not today, because it's still, we're in this kind of moment-by-moment mode where we can't think strategically or long-term. They can't. That strike yesterday was very powerful. You have this F-35, you have the B-1 bombers basically hitting an area that is exactly like one of their facilities we have to destroy, and showing to the world, and especially to the North Koreans, that we can do it easily, and their radars probably were unable to detect half our assets that went in. So that kind of thing is what we need to do to send a strong message. At the same time, we have to pressure the Chinese. 85% of commerce with North Korea goes over the Chinese border. A statist economy like China can shut down that border tomorrow if they really want to, but they don't right now.
And Congressman, the stakes could not be higher, because, as you say, not just this military exercise, that came after North Korea fired yet another test a few days back, and a missile actually went over Japan. Asian markets reacted very negatively, obviously, and this got it all back front and center. So Putin is saying, we need to get back to the table. We need negotiations. But the President Trump, as you know, a couple of days ago tweeted that negotiations talk is simply not the answer. So what do you believe is the answer?
Well, I think it's having a credible military option in Asia, which we do, but I think continuing to build that up, showing that we're serious to use it if we have to, though we desperately don't want to. I think to invest in our missile defense technology, which it's amazing when you actually know the stuff that we have out there. When you get the briefings that I have, you'd be proud of America and what Americans have been able to do and develop, which 20 years ago was unthinkable. And it's pressuring China. It's those three steps. But ultimately, the North Koreans need to understand, and I think the President needs to continue to make this case to the American people. When they test a missile, now that we know they can miniaturize nuclear weapons onto those missiles, we almost are getting to a point where we have to assume they're nuclear-armed missiles if they're headed towards like Guam or Japan. And so this is really North Korea playing with fire. But if we think we can just, come out with hat in hand again and give them a ton of money, I would remind people what happened in 1994 under President Clinton, when we had this deal to end all deals that only led to a nuclear North Korea.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. A couple of decades later, now it looks like they have these missiles that can reach the U.S. mainland. Pretty intense stakes right now, Congressman. We appreciate you joining us.
That's right.
All right.
Anytime. See ya.